Blog Talk Radio.
Well, good evening, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. This is Linda Masaneptiwa, and I'd like to welcome you to the first radio episode of Got Ghosts Will Travel here on Blog Talk Radio. This is the first time that I've ever tried this. I've been on other people's radio shows, and it seemed very interesting, and I kind of liked it, actually, to talk about my stories and everything. So I'm just going to try this out and see if it goes anywhere and stuff like that. So this is a live show, so please excuse any mistakes that I do. This is the first time I've ever done this by myself. So as the title states, God Ghosts Will Travel, this show is about the paranormal and mainly my experiences with ghosts and my brothers, Dennis, and possibly a few other people that I bring in here if I continue to do this. As you can see from the description, I had started my paranormal experiences or journey around the end of 2008, right around my dad's illness, and then eventually he died from the illness. But before that, we were having all kinds of strange events in the house. It was like lights flickering on, and then the power seemed to be half full or half on. All the lights would dim, and one time me and my mom saw a doorknob turning. That was a little freaky, and it really scared her. And I just didn't understand at the time. It was kind of scary, but it didn't really scare me. It was kind of odd. So, but because I think I was watching so many of those ghost hunter TV shows that were really popular at the time, you know the names, like Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures and all those types of shows. I think I was desensitized to experiencing stuff like that. So it didn't really frighten me, but it would kind of confuse me. It was startling to me. It really frightened my mom, though, that doorknob turning thing event. So, but that's how all that started with me and my paranormal journey. And because of the one night I was attacked by a shadow figure in our home, while my dad was asleep, and that's another show, shadow figures, if you want to go into that. But that one event is what caused me to go on a search of the paranormal online, and now after talking with my brother, we've gotten together into this, the team, Paranormal Investigators, starting in 2014 officially as our L&D Paranormal Seekers team. And we've been traveling to many locations, actually, that are reportedly haunted, so, like Pioche, like the one I'm going to talk about tonight, and Rhyolite, which he found, and he researched, and we went there one day. And then a few other places. Pioneer Saloon is a big one in Good Springs, Nevada. I'm also a part of that team, the Pioneer Saloon Investigators, with Jill Allen, Pat Aviz, Mary Lynn Bast, Ara Harris, and her husband Daryl, and of course the owner Noel, and of course Jennifer Bargnoli, which we all become very good friends after being on this team. So, and that's probably another show as well if I continue this. So tonight I'm actually just going to talk about our experiences at the Overland Hotel in Pioche, Nevada. Here's just a really brief history breakdown of the hotel. It's actually 180 miles northeast of Las Vegas in Lincoln County. It was settled originally in 1864 by several miners who found silver in them dar heels, as they say. But because the native Indians who did not like the settlers and miners coming in trying to obviously take over the land, so they had a lot of fights and skirmishes with the Native Americans who were there already, and they chased the settlers off. So, but a Francois Pioche, he actually came back in 1868, and he is the one who was credited for settling after the Indians had calmed down and the native inhabitants. He is the one that is actually the founder of Pioche, hence the name. And after that, it really turned into a booming mining town. They found like a large load of silver, and obviously because of the money being made, it attracted lots of residents, and of course all the miners, workers, and it started becoming a booming mining town very fast, very quickly. And during this time, from 1868 till 1872, I think, 75, it was known as the most violent mining town at the time because of in that short period, there was like 72 murders committed before an actual natural death had occurred. And you can find their burial sites in Boot Hill Cemetery, which is located outside of the main town, on the other side of the highway there. And actually, that's one famous part of this town, is that it is so violent. But that's the only thing. They just said, I'm a local resident when we were there, they did not have any famous people or like Wyatt Earp or Jesse James or anything like that stay there, but it was just so violent, and that's that's part of their history. And we stayed at the Overland Hotel, which was originally built in 1915, and it housed like a doctor's office. And besides the hotel was actually in the back of this building. And the front was used as offices. And then, but in 1947, around there, that actually burnt down. There was a large fire in a restaurant down the street, or in a dining area, and which spread to all the buildings, because basically they're made of wood and brick and all this, and it was very easy. It wasn't modern times, so it just burned down. And then in 1948, they rebuilt it, and that's how it looks as it is today. The person who rebuilt it, who owned it, was in 1953. He was beaten and shot by robbers one night, and he is in the hotel. And this is part of their history as well, the hotel, and a lot of people think this is why it's haunted, because of all the murders in town and of the violent death of the owner. So zipping to the future now, when I found out about the hotel, I did not know of its existence until someone I met at the a vendor's event, the art gallery in Overton. She had a booth like two booths down, and she came to me and is telling me that we suggested we actually check the hotel out and stay there at night or whatever, just to walk through, because she said there's so many stories of hauntings in this hotel, of shadows and people seeing apparitions walking through town. And she said she was never there and she didn't, care to be doing that kind of stuff, but she thought I would be interested, so I took her up on her suggestion. I told my brother Dennis, and we booked the room. I found out that room 10 is actually the most haunted room, supposedly, in the whole hotel. Room 10 is where everybody gets the experiences. So I thought, well, okay, let's book that one. And we have time, we'll do this, me and Dennis. So finally, after a couple of things that happened, issues came up, we finally got the hotel room. We went down there, we checked in, and the man at the desk asked us, which room did you rent, or which room do you have, or what is your name? And then we told him, and then he kind of gave us a really funny look. He kind of like, what? You really want to stay in there? And then at first he was kind of silent, and then he goes, you're here for, that was haunted room, we all said, yeah, but that's why we're here. And we kind of chuckled and everything, and trying to make it lighthearted, and so not to worry this man. But he goes, oh, well, I was going to tell you something, but I'm not going to tell you, because I want you to experience it yourself, because I've had some weird feelings in this room myself. When I go to clean it or anything like that, I get this weird feeling. I just go in, do what I have to do, and get out and close the door and don't go back in. And this is what he told us. But he says, you go in there, you look, and you get your own opinion. So it's fine. Now that's why we're here. And we want to experience this, see if anything. So we got our keys, and we took our stuff, our equipment, and some of our clothes, and went up to this room. We found it is the very back. You go up the little stairs, like that little flight of stairs, but it's kind of steep. It's an old building, styled in the early 1900s style. And then you make a right turn, and you go way down the end of this hall. It's like a long building, sort of, like a long rectangle building. So we went down, and then our room was like in a little turn. We had to turn, and there's like another room next to it, but our room was right there. So we went in, and then the room is actually separated. It's a double room. One side, it has a window as a bathroom, and it's kind of sunny. The other side is kind of strange because there's no windows, but there's like an indent where they painted a scene on, like a country scene, but you feel closed in. It's like a big closet, like a storage room or something. So, but they say the sunny side of this double room is actually where all the experiences are had, such as the people being attacked and all this. So he wanted to stay on that side. My brother Dennis, he wanted to have the experience. So I said, I'll take the other side since I don't hear anything about that side. It's a little creepy, but I'll take it. So we did our little sessions of EVPs and stuff over the night. Well, before that, I wanted to test my spirit box, my SB7 box, and to see if there was any radio frequencies coming through this town that we could be mistaken for voices, ghost voices or whatever. So I set my SB7 recorder on the bed, and then I put my voice recorder next to it, and I sat in the chair next to the bed. I didn't say anything. I didn't ask questions. I just wanted to hear the radio stations coming through. And I didn't hear anything with my ears until I took my voice recorder home and downloaded it to my computer. And during that 4-minute session, I heard what's on this little EVP clip that I downloaded, if you want to listen to it. I'm going to see if I can work. I'm new at this. Just bear with me. Let's see. It might be a little loud. I don't know if you heard it, but right at the beginning it said, "Who's that? My name is Jean." I'm going to try and play it again, see if it came out any better. Yeah, it's kind of hard on here, but on my computer, it's really kind of clear. It says, "Who's that? My name is Jean." It's a female voice. And I think it was asking me because I was sitting there. I don't know who Jean is. It could be maybe what we call the Pioneer Student Ladies of the time, or it could have been just a resident of Pioche who just came through and was wondering who I was, who I was sitting there in this building. So, but I didn't hear it at the time. So we went and had tried to find dinner because we didn't realize all the cafe was closing early. All the small towns like this, the rural towns, their cafe closes very early, and you have to hurry up and get your food before you can't have everything be closed. So we ran down. We went to the little cafe across the street. We managed to get it before they closed. We had a little fingers or whatever, little food, salad and stuff. Then we made it back to our hotel, and then that night we started doing our EVP sessions, and we did in the room only because there's other guests here in the building, but it was really quiet. And of course you cannot hear with your ears too clearly, so we did it, and we didn't experience much touching or anything besides the voices coming out of the spirit box. So we called it a night about 11 o'clock, and then I put the stuff away, and we said, well, let's get some rest because there's a long drive back for me anyway. So I'm tired. I'm going to go lay down. So I went to my side, and I was laying on the bed, and I'm thinking, this is I feel kind of creepy. I mean, you get that strange feeling that someone or something or some kind of energy in the room with you, stuff, and that's what I was getting. So the bed was fine. It was just I didn't feel like getting under the covers. I didn't even take my jacket off. I had my hoodie jacket on, and I left that on. I just took my shoes off when I was laying on the top of the bed without being covered or anything. And I just covered my head with a hoodie, and I kind of rolled to my side, and I kind of curled up like that. And I can't sleep in the dark. I don't know why. It's just a little too creepy for me. I guess I like to see what's in the room with me. So I had the TV on as well, but it was really low so I wouldn't disturb Dennis because he liked to sleep in the dark. So after a while, I kind of went to sleep finally. And suddenly, maybe, I'm not sure exact time, maybe about 1:30, 2 a.m., somewhere around there, I started feeling something was tugging on my arm. So because I'm still sleepy, I'm tired, I'm starting to wake up now because there's somebody tugging on me. I thought, well, maybe I'm just dreaming this, and I'll just keep my eyes closed, and it'll go away. I'll go back to sleep. Maybe it's I'm dreaming. But then maybe I don't know how long, maybe a minute or so. Again, but this was harder. It was like somebody was grabbing my jacket sleeve and pulling on my sleeve, and it kind of turned me a little bit. And I thought, no way, I had my hoodie on still, so I couldn't really see what was on the behind me where this was coming from. So automatically I thought, okay, this is Dennis. He's come over, he's joking with me, because it's a quiet building and it's supposed to be haunted. Maybe he's teasing me. But then I didn't hear anything. There was no sound or people or anything. It was just somebody grabbing my jacket sleeve and pulling on it. And I thought, this is not Dennis. I'm thinking, oh, great. I have several experiences with ghosts already. I'm thinking, this has got to be a spirit. It has to be or something. But I really didn't want to turn around or to acknowledge it or something. I just said, oh, okay, I'm trying to sleep. Just let me lay here and kind of just let me sleep. And then maybe not even a minute, suddenly my arms, the jacket got tugged really, really hard. Not a sudden grip, but it was just grabbed my sleeve and pulled me really. It was steady and it actually lifted my arm up. I'm trying to relax. I'm trying to not strain. I'm going to see if it's just my arm or myself or doing this, or is it somebody actually grabbing and pulling my arm like this? And it actually rolled me halfway over. I didn't want to look and that way. I don't know why. I just didn't want to. But my arm was over. I noticed, and then all of a sudden, it let go and my arm dropped. It was my left arm, and it just dropped like from the weight of my arm. I said, okay, I know what this is. This is like I'm being trying to be waken up by the spirit or a ghost, because I know Dennis is not there. I don't hear anything. He would actually, if he was a joke, he would call my name, so I know it's not Dennis. And I'm thinking, okay, great. So I have to get up soon. I'm really tired still. So I kind of said under a breath, I said, please, leave me alone. I mean, I really like to talk to you, but I'm really tired myself and I need to get up and drive. It's like a 2 or 3 hour drive going back one way. So can you please, I'll come back maybe in another time when I'm not so tired, and I'll communicate with you some more if that's what you want. But can you please let me rest? And then it just stopped. It was nothing, and I went back to sleep. But because it was already early morning when this was happening, I didn't realize that it was getting to be 7 in the morning. I didn't get much sleep, and I didn't get much rest. And that side of the room is not. There's no sun, because there's no window. The only sun is from the other side, and he had the window closed, the blind. So I had no idea it was already 7 or around 7 in the morning. Until finally Dennis did come into the room, and he trying to wake me up to say, hey, maybe we should get up and get ready to go because it's getting sun already. I said, what? Sun? And so I got up and I said, oh yeah, because his side was sunny and mine was dark because there's no sun, no light coming into my side. So I didn't even think to ask if that was him doing that, because I already kind of knew that it was a spirit or a ghost that was trying to pull my arm like that. But it didn't really do anything to me other than try and grab my jacket and pull me over. It didn't hurt me or harm me in any way, so I'm thinking it was just either a resident of town, of the Pioche, or maybe, like I said, the ladies of the time. Maybe there was a lady or someone who has connected with this hotel or the land that had just popped in and saw me there, and was probably trying to wake me up, trying to figure out who I was. It was kind of startling when it was happening. The hair on my arms stood up and things like that, or you get that feeling. But it didn't really harm me, so it didn't really scare me afterwards a whole lot. It was just another one of the experiences that I had. So we were trying to make plans to go back to Pioche and the Overland Hotel in the future, but we never made it back yet. So because other things sort of came up. So, but possibly we could. So room number 10 is pretty haunted for us. He didn't have any experiences though. He said he was the one who wanted to be sat on or whatever. What the reports are, the male, aggressive male that doesn't like other males in his room, the side that my dentist was laying in. But he said he had no experiences. Nothing happened to him. He slept straight. He says, I slept like a baby. I was like, oh, great. You know, I'm the one who kind of got the attention, I guess, because I wasn't really wanting to have an experience like that. I just wanted to communicate and see if there was anything to the rooms or the hotel. So, but, you know, as I say, not all ghosts or spirits are bad or the negative. Many, I think I've encountered just people who passed away, or they want a message to be sent to somebody, or even just to me. They want to talk to me, or because they have no way of communicating with us, the living, the people in bodies. So because the energy is different, and the voices actually are on a different frequency, as they say. Either I think that it's lower frequency, because that's why we can't hear them. Otherwise, we probably could. And animals actually can hear spirits because of their hearing is so acute at listening to different frequencies, either higher or lower. So I think that's why. So I mean, maybe the spirit does not realize they cannot communicate with us fully, and they're trying to get my attention. So that's my story from the Overland Hotel in Pioche. I am willing to take callers. I've got 8 minutes left on the show. If you want to call in, it's fine, and talk to me. The number should be on the top if you want to call in, anyone. The number is 646-668-2713. And if you want to jump in here, otherwise I'll talk for 7 more minutes. And obviously this radio show will be about traveling experiences. Like I said, I've gone to the Pioneer Saloon in Good Springs, Nevada for the past 3 years, and I've been doing the Haunted Lockdown events with Jill Allen, Pataviz. And I've had quite a few experiences in there myself, either with the Haunted Lockdown or with Dennis on our private investigation we did a couple times. Because of the kindness of the proprietor, Noel Shekels, he let us do our private investigation with no one there but just the two of us. And we caught at one point a shadow figure on video that my dentist actually saw with his eyes. He saw a person standing there, a man, he thought, but it was like really faint and shadowy because it was so dark. We had the lights turned off in the Pioneer Saloon. So he kind of reached out trying to see if it would move, but he didn't see anything. It moved. But on video, because we had a night vision camera right there, it caught a shadow moving really quickly to right in front of the camera to about the end of the bar. And there's a big light, a security light of some kind, and on the night vision, it's actually pink, purple, or it's an odd color. But this shadow blocked out that light for a couple seconds maybe, and then all of a sudden it just kind of dissipated. And we were there by ourselves. There's no one else. We weren't moving. We were just standing there. We're trying to look for this because he saw it, and I was trying to see what he was seeing, but obviously I couldn't see it, but he did. So, and then on this video, you also saw or heard when I slowed the video down, the speed, you can hear like a mechanical robotic voice saying, "Can you see me?" It was like, "Can you see me?" Kind of like that. It was like a female voice though to my brother. So, or a young child maybe. And just as the shadow was kind of moving away fast, it at the same time. So he pointed that out, and I did not, for myself, I didn't even hear it until he said something. And that's another thing with evidence. When you do recordings or anything, sometimes you don't hear it initially, but maybe a few months later, even a couple of days or weeks or whatever, and maybe someone else pick out new evidence, like voices or images that you missed. So we've had especially me, since I take pictures and I go through everything in the audio for the lockdowns and stuff like that, and our team, I've noticed that that happens a lot. I don't know why, you just miss it, or maybe our ears are all different, and one person will hear one thing and another person hears a different thing, and put them together and maybe you'll get the whole story. But when I'm just doing this by myself, the audio, it's hard to pick out every single one. So just a little suggestion, maybe if you're doing EVPs, have someone else listen to your EVP recording or your recordings to see if they can hear anything else besides what you're hearing. So that's another thing. And of course, as I said, when I first started into the paranormal investigation, I wasn't really into the physical investigation part, going places and stuff like that. I was more into developing my sensitive side, or my psychic. People call it psychic. I don't call myself a psychic, but I'm more sensitive, and I can feel things more like an intuitive, which basically you just know of it, intuitive, or you feel things in your intuitive side. And I've also have also done readings myself, but mainly just to practice and just maybe in developing myself. And sometimes I do actually get hits on people who I've met in person at the lockdowns or things like this, or just on the street. I've almost like the psychic medium that's on TV, the Long Island medium, sort of like that. But I don't really go to these people to say, hey, your past loved one has come, he wants to talk to you, because I don't know what people will think. I mean, one story I have, I'll tell it really fast. I was at a Japanese restaurant. I went to pick up a dinner order for me and my mom, and I came out with my order, and I saw a man sitting in the car, just the head and shoulders, but obviously he was passed away, because the image is really weird. It was an older man. But when I was inside the restaurant, I noticed there were 4 people sitting at the table, and they had suits on and everything. I'm thinking, oh, this man is here because they just came back from a funeral for this same person that's sitting in the car. And he turned and kind of looked at me, and then it kind of disappeared. But because of the time, like I said, I don't go to people in person like that physically. I just I say, okay, another spirit is visited, and I'm thinking that's them, but I don't think they want to be told their loved one is in their car outside who has just passed, and they have messages, because they were really quiet and somber. So I said, well, I don't think I will bother them at all. Go back in. I just, let it pass, I guess. So, but that's about it for a lot of the stuff that's been going on for me. Well, I got like 2 minutes left, and hopefully you can hear my voice. I bought this new headphones and mic set tonight because I wanted to make sure I didn't get the echo, the feedback sometimes I get when I do the webcam mic when I have the speakers on. So if you want, you can leave a message on my Facebook page or the team page, L&D Paranormal Seekers on a Facebook, or you can on the personal page, and leave your comments and what you think of this show and of me talking. And if I get either one, bad, good, I don't care. You can just let it out. I'm a big girl. I can take it. So depending on what everybody says and how I feel about this, I might have a second episode, and I might make it longer. It's only 30 minutes tonight. And I'll probably have Dennis on here. I'd like to thank everyone, Noel Shekels at the Pioneer Saloon, for letting me be part of his team. Of course, Dennis, my brother, Masan Mtiwa, for being the other half of my team and supporting me in this and supporting both of us. I'd like to thank Jill, Mary, Jennifer, Ara, Daryl at the Pioneer Saloon. All you para peeps out there who are my friends on Facebook or Instagram and all these other places I'm at, for all your love and support, or even some of your hate. But thanks all for listening to my radio show. Maybe this will be the only one. I don't know. We'll see. Of course, my name is Linda Masan Mtiwa. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I have my own website, www.lindas-psychicjourney.com. And we also have our own website. check it out on the Facebook page. Bye.